Welcome back to The Morning Blend. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says suicide in our country is way up, more than 25% in just the past 2 decades. That means there are more Americans dying by suicide than homicide or even war. For that reason, scientists, clinicians, and community groups are racing to find ways to prevent it.
Denise, Christopher, and Amy Denning are on the committee for Behind the Mask Brunch and Fashion Show. It's a fundraiser for a group called Life of Hope that works to prevent suicide and increase awareness. Thanks for being here, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
And your sisters.
Yes, we're sisters. We're in this together.
You are. Yes. And I think that's an important message overall, is this support system and community. I know that's one thing that's really important. Talk a little bit about Life of Hope, exactly what it is and kind of how it started.
Yeah, so Life of Hope is a nonprofit organization in Washington County, and our focus is on the topic of suicide, raising awareness, educating people on suicide, and then providing support services for those that have been affected. We have Hope support groups, and we also have resources to connect people with that needed, including counselors and therapists. And so all of our services are free to residents of Washington County, so a fundraiser like Behind the Mask is really important to raise the money needed to continue our programming.
And it's going to be a really neat event.
Yeah.
It's coming up in April, and I want you both to give details about it in just a second. But I feel like the timing is so good for your visit, because a lot of people are familiar with some recent deaths that have been in the news. Some of them are high profile. Yeah. 3 in the past week. One, a dad who lost a young daughter in an elementary school, the Sandy Hook shooting, which was in 2012, and then also the Valentine's Day 2018 Parkland shootings in Florida. Apparently a girl who graduated from that high school died by suicide in the past week, and then also a current high school student. I don't think they've released the name yet, but it's, you know, those are everyday, I feel like, reminders that people are still struggling, and there's such a need for organizations like Life of Hope.
Yeah, it most definitely drives home the fact that it is every age group, it's every demographic, and then there's that ripple effect that is oftentimes forgotten about, the fact that it affects neighbors, it affects family members, cousins, loved ones, friends, and so it's really important to have services available to support systems as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's survivor's guilt. That's, yes, you know, what you're kind of referring to. What kind of programming do you think has really made a difference with people that you serve through Life of Hope? Because I think that's what people want to know is, okay, if somebody survives an attempt or if someone is having difficulty, what kinds of things can help turn it around for them and their families?
You know what, I run one of our support groups. I run a support group for friends and family, and I think what I'm finding a real significant benefit is the fact that when people realize they're not alone, that others are suffering, that others have suffered through, or to see the dramatic progress somebody has made, you know, coming through the process, getting mentally well, it's pretty empowering to see that in somebody else and to know you're not alone.
Yeah.
Talk about this wonderful event you have coming up, Behind the Mask. It's a brunch and a fashion show, and the models as well as the people who are providing the fashion for the show are from Washington County, the area you serve, and the surrounding area, right?
Yes, so our fashion show is on Saturday, April 6th, beginning at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and it's at the beautiful Chandelier Ballroom in Hartford. We have local clothiers providing the clothing and community models. And so they're all people from Washington County coming together to create this event. And it's just, I think, a beautiful example of what, you know, our community, the community support that we do receive. It's just so critical.
Yes. Yeah. Your theme is Generations.
Our theme is Generations of Hope. And the reason for that is because really suicide is a topic that affects all generations. And so we really wanted to emphasize not only that, but also we want to really incorporate the positive attributes that each generation brings to the table, because when we all do work together, we can really make a big difference in making this suicide a talkable topic.
Yeah, and I know there are a lot of different ways that people can get involved with Life of Hope. They can access the wonderful services, the training, the resources that you have available. But a great way to support too is to head out Saturday, April 6th, because from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. is the Life of Hope Behind the Mask Brunch and Fashion Show. It's at the Chandelier Ballroom in Hartford, as you mentioned. People can call the phone number on their screen for more information and tickets. You can also visit lifeofhopeproject.org and purchase one of these beautiful mugs that Tiff is drinking a hot but not too hot
lukewarm
beverage out
there you
of.
go.
But it's beautiful, and what a fun way, a nice reminder to you of all the great work that you guys are doing.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so
Thank
much
you
for
very
being
much.
here.
Our
Appreciate
pleasure.
your
Thanks
time.
for having us.
Yes.
Yeah, keep up the great work.
Thank you.